What's going on, everyone? Today we have the RTX 5070. This is the ROS Master version by Gigabyte. We have this paired with an AMD 9800X3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM. We're going to be checking it out today in Dying Light the Beast. Now, as usual, we're going to go through all the different settings, including DLSS, frame generation at 1440p and 4K resolution. All of the products that I used to create this video are linked in the description below. If you do click one of those links and purchase something through one of those links, it does help the channel out in a small way. With that said, if you're new here, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. I appreciate it. All right, what's going on, everyone? We got the 5070 today. We got 12 gigabytes of VRAM on this. Go ahead and knock this guy out. All right, and we are pairing it today with the 9800X3D. We're going to be going through it today with the following settings. So we're going to start off with low quality, and we are going to be looking at 1440p right now. It does love to change all this, so you got to make sure you take care of that if you're doing anything like this on your end. But we're going to turn DLSS frame generation off. We're going to be running DLAA, and we are going to be at 4K with low quality starting off. Let's go ahead and apply that, and let's jump back into it. All right, so right now we're at 43 FPS, so no help from DLSS at all. Everything else is just, it's kind of running about what you'd expect. There's no frame generation on, and DLSS is currently turned off. So, we're going to just run through all the different settings today and make sure you know what to expect from this card at 4K and 1440p. All right, so let's just keep going into maybe the next level now that we kind of have like a good look at what we can expect here. Just looking, if I look up, I'm just making sure that I'm recording. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I am looking at 50-ish FPS on the best, in the best ways, and about mid 40s, low 40s in the worst ways. Let's see, there's a dude here. Let's go ahead and clock him. All right, yeah, there we go. I got this pipe. It's pretty legit. All right, so man, he is like really hard to. Come on, there you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's search him. Got to frisk him, see what we got here. All right, got some money. That's cool. All right, so right here, let's see. Let's go up one. Let's go over to medium quality and see down here it changes automatically, so I got to go fix it. I hate when games do that. I really wish that they would just leave stuff alone. All right, so actually let's turn on some Reflex Plus Boost. I've got my PCL up there, so that will definitely be something I talk about, especially whenever we get into the frame generation section. All right, so right here at 4K, we are looking like 43, so it dropped down a little bit more. We're at 8 gigs of allocated VRAM. That's going to be something important on this card. Usually the 5070, my only concern is ever really just VRAM because of the 12 gigs. It does have kind of an artificial limit to itself, but right now we're on a game that is pretty well optimized, especially after last week with Borderlands 4. It is nice to see a game come out that runs well. Now, we don't have any ray tracing enabled because this game has come out and stated that that is not currently in this title. It's going to be added later, but once it is added, of course, I will be right there to test it out. All right, so let's just keep on going and see what the next level looks like. Again, this is just straight native pixels. There's no upscaling being utilized at all right now. And right now it just goes up to high. So high quality is just where we're at. All right, so let's come down here and fix this. Do this all over again. All right, so still no frame generation. We're on DLSS native, so DLAA, 4K and high quality preset. All right, and that brings us down into the low 40s. Not a huge swing in performance between these settings, but a noticeable one. 4 or 5 FPS as we keep going, but once we jump into the upscaling, it's definitely going to look just as good. Occasionally, games do look a little bit better with the sharpening of DLSS quality, and this so far has seemed to be one of them. It looks really good, even all the way down to performance at 4K. So we're going to be able to really see what we can expect from this title. With the 5070 today, it's going to run pretty well, I think. So let's just keep going. Let's get out of this under 60 FPS land that we're in right now. And we're just going to do that with a little bit of DLSS quality. So right here at the high settings, much smoother, much smoother. All right, so it's doing this weird thing. I have to toggle out and go to my I just have to toggle out of it and then come back, and the FPS reports correctly. I don't know what that's all about, but I've had to do it on this game exclusively so far with my 5070 Ti test, and so far it looks like the same with this one. So if you see 60, it's just a technicality, and then that's why you see me switch out and back into the game. All right, so 74, 71 FPS here with quality DLSS turned on. That is proven to be, you know, a nice setting. Again, here we can also go down more on our DLSS because at 4K, the upscaling is quite nice. At performance, you're upscaling from 1080p. So, you know, right here we are at, I forget it's such a weird resolution balanced is, but it's not quite 1080p. All right, so I'll pop it on the screen. I got to look it up after I shoot this. All right, so we're at 85, 83 FPS here. And yeah, we're looking just fine. Quality looks good, balance looks good, even down to performance looks good from what I've been able to tell. All right, so let's jump in there and do that. Again, no frame generation is being utilized right now at all. Everything is still on that high quality preset. So this card will absolutely do high quality, no problem. VRAM is going down because we're using more DLSS, so that background resolution gives the VRAM a break. Let me toggle out and back in. All right, so that brings us up to our real FPS of 90 FPS. I believe it's got something to do with the fact I'm running this in windowed, but you know, it is what it is. It's just a weird thing that this game does. All right, so cool, I got an achievement. All right, yeah, 97 FPS, 96 FPS. Our VRAM allocation looks perfectly fine. We're 7.3 on allocated and 6.1 on used. So let's just keep on going. Check out some frame gen right here at the end of the 4K test before we jump over to the 1440p section. Actually, before we do that, let's check out ultra performance. I actually haven't looked at ultra performance yet. Due to the fact that ultra performance is upscaling from 720 to 4K. There's our real reporting. But honestly, it looks quite nice still. I mean, there is a little bit of fuzziness, like far, far less than what I've seen in a lot of titles, though. So really, ultra performance I find to be pretty viable as far as a solution to get 4K to run before frame generation at some pretty nice frame rates. Everything does look pretty good. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not quality or even performance. There is a noticeable degradation, just a little bit, though. Like, it's not bad at all. So if you can put up with the ever so slight bit of, you know, clarity, fuzziness, this isn't a bad setting at all because, like I said, I've seen way worse. If you were to put these side by side, you'd be able to tell, but if you just booted this up, I might be able to be convinced that this is performance DLSS 3. Honestly, it looks that good even at ultra performance. But anyway, let's jump out and head up to our settings here again. And we're going to go back up to quality. And we're going to leave that boost on. We're going to turn on some DLSS frame generation 2x. We're going to see what it runs like at quality DLSS with that frame generation turned on. Okay, that gives us 112, 114 FPS. And again, this was the case with the 5070 Ti is once you turn on frame generation at 4K, you start to get a lot of snags. And it was not the case at 1440, but it seems to be the case here again, just like a much rougher frame time graph. The smoothness is just not there anymore. It's there whenever it's not hitching, but yeah, frame generation definitely has some issues at 4K right now that need to be addressed because it runs perfectly smooth without frame generation, and frame generation should make it even smoother, but it's just introducing some hitches. Let's go up to 4X and see if it rectifies the situation because it did not on the 5070 Ti version, and I just want to kind of rule that out. Let's see. Looks like 4X has another hitch, yeah. 4X frame generation, 170 FPS here, but still, you know, I can't recommend frame gen at 4K right now. I mean, look at all that. Look at that rough frame time graph. That's pretty bad. Let's just jump down and check out what potentially balanced looks like. Go back to 2x. I'm going to run through it regardless, but you know, just kind of keep in mind that frame generation at 4K at least is not running quite right on this title just yet. Way too many hitches to justify frame generation at the moment. All right, so about 125 FPS. I'm just going to, since this isn't working super great right now, I'm just going to run through it rather quickly. Let's go up to 4x at balanced. It gives you about 200 FPS, but 200 rough FPS. Like, that ain't what I want to play. I wouldn't want to play like this at all. 200 FPS is great when it's smooth, but not with a bunch of hitches and snags. That's just not cool. All right, let's come up here and look out. Just check out the city. That's where I got to run to next as far as the mission goes, is this like monastery down here. Again, I try not to ruin any sort of story elements at all, because that's a big pet peeve of mine. So that's why I picked these areas that are, you know, pretty cleared out of enemies and give you a lot of variety as far as like terrain goes and stuff like that. Let's just head up here. This is kind of like where you emerge at the beginning, but you know, that's as much as I'm going to say. All right, so 186 FPS here at balanced with the DLSS 4 frame generation on 4X. So let's come over here and check out performance at 2X. I'm just going to get through these just to answer any questions. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people play different ways. As far as the hitching goes, I'm curious. Yeah, it's still there. Still hitching. That's not good. So at 4K, unfortunately, I just would not recommend frame generation. Thankfully, it is perfectly playable without frame generation. This game runs really, really well, but hopefully whenever the ray tracing update comes along, we're going to need that frame generation, so hopefully they'll be able to get it fixed by then. But the more people that point it out, the more they'll have to address it. But anyway, let's keep going. All right, let's check out 4X. So we're going to video, go to that 4X. And again, I don't really test 3X anymore, because it's basically just between 2X and 4X. It's just, you know, just kind of makes the video longer for no reason. But that PCL is holding around 42 milliseconds. You know, I know it's small up there. Unfortunately, I can't make it any larger. But yeah, we're at about 42 milliseconds here. Not great. I would like a little bit around, I would like it to be like pretty consistently around 30. But, you know, with performance DLSS and this frame generation on it, definitely messes up the response time a little bit, even with that boost turned on. All right, so let's just keep going down one. Just check it out on 2X, ultra performance. See what that does, especially with our PCL. PCL goes down to about 30 milliseconds. That's pretty good. 180 FPS. Still got those snags in there. Still just like a problem. And I've only noticed it on my last test at 4K specifically, although it does seem to be a bit better on ultra performance. But again, that's probably just because you're running at such a low background resolution that it's you know, not running out of resources potentially. Let's check it out. Let's go to 4X. All right. And this will be before we jump over to 1440. Yeah, we're looking at about 36, 31 milliseconds on our PCL and about 280 FPS. So, you know, nothing to sneeze at for sure. I will say that the frame time graph, although I do visually see some snags, I'm feeling them a little bit less. I mean, they're still present. They're still not perfect, but it is little bit better. Not a lot, but a little bit. This is an area I haven't gone yet, so I just don't want to trigger any kind of like story elements or anything, so let's just stay around here. All right, so let's jump over to 1440 and see how we fare over there, because if we're doing pretty well on 4K, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be doing even better, obviously, on the 1440p section. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are. We are on 1440p, and we have DLSS set to native, so DLAA, reflex plus boost is turned on, and frame generation is currently off. So let's jump into it, and this is the low preset. So we are going to check out how this looks right now. 92 FPS, so looks about as good as I expected. All that hitching is gone. That frame time graph is dead flat. That is like so rare to see in a new title. I got a shout out to the devs for this, to launch this title with so little issues other than that frame gen issue. But as far as the game itself, without frame gen, it runs so well. Really excited to see how they, you know, make this even better with some updates to address that frame gen and ray tracing. That's going to be exciting. All right, so let's jump over here and go to the next level. So low quality, we're going to go up to medium. All right, let's fix this because it likes to change everything. Super annoying. All right, frame gen is currently off. DLSS set to native, so DLAA, medium quality, 1440. Let's jump into it and see if we can get this to run super great before we enable any sort of frame generation, because as I could tell from the last video I did with the 5070 Ti, frame generation at 1440 did not have any sort of issues. So hopefully that's the case here. But yeah, we're at 86 FPS, 81 FPS, so looking really good. PCL is at 36 milliseconds. And we're going to jump over here, take a look out here at the city. All right, so load all that stuff in, 34. So down in the high 20s, 90 FPS, looks good. All right, let's just keep going up through these settings here. All right, so let's jump down. Let's go to high quality, jump down here, switch all this back. So DLSS native, reflex plus boost is on. No frame gen, everything looks good. I like to scan before I jump into the test because a lot of times these settings like manipulate other settings and you don't catch them. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys like a clean, nice test. All right, so 3840 milliseconds of PCL right here, 86 FPS. You know, absolutely smooth. I mean, super smooth, super playable. Very, very nice setting here. This is the highest we can go before we introduce any sort of DLSS. So let's jump over there, check out what the DLSS setting will be. So high quality runs perfectly fine. You don't really need DLSS, but you know, for those wondering, we'll go ahead and switch it over to quality. See what kind of performance that gives us. That gives us a nice lift up to 124 FPS, quality DLSS. PCL is at 17 milliseconds, around there. This is a very, very good setting for 1440p on this card. VRAM is totally under control. We're nowhere close to our 12 gigs on this card at all. 120 FPS with simply switching over to quality DLSS. Like, this is a really good card for 1440 high refresh for sure, because you know, you're getting like some really good performance here at quality. Now on 1440, I don't like to go much past quality or balanced, but you know, we'll check it out anyway, and I'll kind of give my comments as far as like what it looks like to me on my end. But right now, we're just going to switch down to balanced to see if we can get that FPS to go up a little bit more. So that gives us about 10 FPS or so. Not sure if it's worth it because I personally can't tell the difference between 10 or 20 FPS whenever it's this high. The only thing it did help a little bit was our PCL. It's around 15 to 17 milliseconds pretty consistently. So you know, if you are sensitive to reaction time or don't want any delay, which who wants delay? You know, this is another good setting because I feel that once you get to a high enough refresh rate, a high enough FPS, that really the only reason to start using DLSS is if you want to have a super fast response time. So that's kind of like the use for DLSS once you get to, you know, obviously 100, 110, 120 FPS plays just fine. That's a very good target to shoot for, especially with a fast-paced game like this. But you know, sometimes that PCL might be a little bit higher than you want. And in this case, you know, our PCL's like on the floor. I mean, 15 milliseconds is so good. 136 FPS, so we're really looking good on this title at 1440. There's a very high performer on 1440 for sure. All right, so performance DLSS, no frame gen at all right now. Our PCL has dipped down into, I just saw a 14 millisecond, so we're doing even better. 138, 137 FPS. VRAM allocation is right around 7 gigs, using about 5.5. So again, very, very good card for this game at 1440 and even 4K. As we saw, it was, you know, easily doable without any frame generation. So what I'm going to do now is kick it back over to quality and start running through some frame gen testing, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so let's jump over here. All right, bring it back up to, actually, let's go to ultra performance. I don't want to forget that. Now, at 1440, I would not go ultra performance. I mean, this looked quite bad. It's not that great looking. The resolution at 1440 ultra performance is just very, very low. Wouldn't recommend it, but again, without frame generation, you're at 200 FPS, and your PCL is about 10 milliseconds. So if you can put up with some fuzziness, you know, it's up to you, the player, you know, as to like what your preferences are. But I just wanted to show you that it is, if you really, really, really want the craziest refresh rate and response time, here you go. This is 200 FPS with no frame gen. All right, so let's get out of that because that's not really a super realistic setting for most people. Let's go up to quality and let's turn on the DLSS 2X. We're just going to run through it just like we did with the other setting. So right here, full screen. It kicked me back over to 1080 to 4K. So let me fix that. All right, so I'm back now. I had to restart because this game, if you turn on frame generation, it forces native resolution. So I actually had to go into Windows, set my resolution to 1440p, and now we should be able to continue with the test. So just to keep that in mind. Okay, we're at quality DLSS, 2x frame gen, 1440, high quality settings. All right, let's just keep going here. Let's go ahead and handle this. Give me that money. Give me that money. There you go. All right. Fleeced him good. All right, so we are at 182 FPS here at high settings with quality DLSS. Our PCL is at 28 milliseconds. So this, again, is a fantastic way to play. 2x frame generation, quality DLSS, nice response time. PCL of 25 is nothing bad at all. That's very, very good. 183 FPS here. And see, the snags are like very, very minor compared to what we were seeing at 4K. I know you see them on that frame time graph, but I cannot feel them while I play the game. So if you see those and you're at 1440, just know that the frame gen snag issue is not really present. That was the most pathetic jump ever. Is not really present on 1440. For whatever reason, 4K seems to be the exclusive issue that it you know, shows up at. Even though you do see it, it's just I don't feel it in the game. So that's the difference. All right, so here we go. Let's jump into here. Go to video and come down here to Reflex plus Boost. Let's go ahead and do 4x. Now these frames are going to get absolutely silly. 305 FPS here. I don't know who would need 300 FPS to play a game like this, but I'm here to just show you. That's what I do. So there's probably somebody out there that does, and that's fine. Everything is completely personal when it comes to these games and all these different settings. So I cast no shade. I just want to show everybody everything if I can. All right, so yeah, we're looking at 187 FPS here. Let's just keep, or 287, sorry. Yeah, so we're down here. So we're on DLSS 4 with 4x frame gen. Let's go to balanced and kick this back down to 2x. I'm going to check it all out today here. So balanced on 2x, that gives you 187 FPS. The PCL, like I said, is kind of like the main focus whenever you're on such a high refresh rate and you just really want to get that PCL down as much as possible. Right here, once that thing goes away, we're at 26 milliseconds. So not a big improvement from quality, honestly, and that just might be the game itself. You know, with certain settings, things do change a little bit. But yeah, we've got 200 FPS here with a super responsive. I mean, my mouse is like absolutely just locked to what is happening on the screen, which is exactly what you want in any game, especially a game like this. Let's go up to 4x. Go ahead and check this out. So 4x frame gen, and we are looking at 312 FPS with a 32 millisecond PCL. We're looking like, yeah, I mean, you can play this game however you want to on this hardware with 1440p resolution. It's just going to be like, you know, totally preferential. There's a little bit of a stutter there, nothing too bad, but frame gen seems to be where that stuttering shows up at. but it is far less pronounced on 1440p, like reduction of probably 90 to 95% from what I was seeing on 4K. All right, so let's just jump back over here. Keep on going with this. So we've done that. Let's go back to 2x and check out performance DLSS with 2x frame gen. Get some nice numbers here. Of course, it's going to be 22 milliseconds on your PCL, 212 FPS here. So absolutely just silly frame rates. But, you know, that's what you buy these cards for, is to play at some silly frame rates. So, yeah, I'm making sure that I cover everything. All right, so here we go with 4x. So 4x frame gen, performance DLSS, 343 FPS. So it looks like we're getting 25 on our PCL. I really wish that nag box would stop. That is driving me crazy. I got to figure out how to turn that off. All right, so 27, 28 milliseconds, 350 FPS, utilizing 5.3 gigs of VRAM. I mean, this is just like a very, very well-running game. Outside of the frame gen stuff, which you clearly don't really need, I cannot complain. This is a really, really clean launch with this title. So very, very good job. I'm so excited, though, to see when ray tracing does come to it finally, what we can expect then. And I'll, of course, cover that when that update comes out. But yeah, let's go to the next level here that we've got. So we've done that. Let's go to 2x ultra performance. You know, for those people who just want the most insane frame rates imaginable. We're at 20 milliseconds of PCL. Now, got some really bad shimmering at ultra performance. Just worth calling that out. So 255 FPS, 260 FPS. All right, so let's check out what 4x looks like. And then I'm going to do like a little bit of a setting that would show some reduced, you know, not totally maxed out, but we're at 400 FPS here, 420 FPS. There's that stupid box again. Please go out of the way so I can see my PCL. Thank you. All right, 24 milliseconds with 420 FPS. So, you know, say that you are on 1440p and you want to get a little bit better performance, you know, something just outlandishly crazy. We can go to DLSS quality. Let's turn off the frame gen right now. So this is DLSS quality with just medium settings. So this was a question raised on another video. A commenter, you know, kind of wanted to see what some lower settings looked like. I need to flip back out and come back in. Yeah, it is just not going to show me accurate performance for some reason. Yeah, I've tried a couple different things, but this was something that I was fighting on my other video. You had to actually go out and go back in, but then it dropped it right back down to 60 FPS. I can't figure out what it's doing, but if I go out and go back in, you can see it's about 142 FPS in reality. I don't know why the technical issue of this is doing what it's doing. Let's jump over and do 4K though. I just want to see what we can do as far as that goes. So I'm going to have to come back into my settings and fix that here. Jump over here. All right, so we are at 4K now. Let's go back into Dying Light. Come over here. Okay, let's bring this back up. So 4K resolution. Here we go. All right, so 4K resolution, window borderless, medium settings with DLSS quality. We're going to check out what this looks like. It's probably not going to report unless I go out. Okay, so it's going up a little bit. So we're at about 72 FPS. Now when I come back into the game, it's going to go right back down. Oh no, it stayed. Great. Okay, so that's working. All right, so medium settings at 4K with quality gives you about 76 FPS here. And it looks like touching 80 every now and then. Again, this is another way to play it if you don't really care about the most, oh, I bumped the mic, about the most, you know, incredible looking settings, although medium still looks really good. So medium quality looks quite nice. So You know, for those people who are wondering what it might look like with 4K, we can go down to performance because it still looks good. So 4K medium with performance DLSS. Let's head out here, get a nice report, and then go back to the game. All right, so that gives us 99 FPS, 100 FPS. So medium settings looks like a really good setting if you don't want to mess with frame gen and all the stutteriness of frame gen on this title at 4K. This gives you a nice 100 FPS plus experience, and you have 32 milliseconds on your PCL. Now, if you want to see what it looks like, I'm going to try to get it to actually work again on 1440, just because you know, that's bothering me. Okay, so now we're on 1440. We are on borderless window, so I'm hoping that it should work with my reporting. We're going to check it out on quality DLSS, and again, we're just going to come in here and flip out of it so that it will actually give us correct reporting, and then go back into the game. It's for some reason at 1440 it wants to jump back down to 60 FPS, but without that weird issue, you're looking at about 138, 137 FPS. Yeah, so once I bring it back into focus, it goes back down to 60, and it also affects our PCL. So it's actually running the game at 60. It's not just the reporting that's wrong; it's something in the game that's doing this. So yeah, we're at 135 FPS. I'm just trying to show you what you can expect potentially if this ever gets fixed. Because when I'm in the game, it's at 60 FPS. When I'm out of the game, it goes straight back up to what it should be running at. So anyway, down here we're looking like 127 FPS. Yeah, so strange issue, but let's jump back into the game. Goes right back down to 60. All right, so thanks for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate all the support, all the comments you guys are giving me. Anything that I've used in this video will be linked in the description below. By purchasing through one of those links, you do support the channel. So even if you click the link and then buy a set of spatulas, it still helps me. You know, you don't have to actually buy the thing that's in there. But just getting to Amazon from those links and then buying what you're going to buy anyway does give me a little bit of help when it comes to purchasing all the equipment that I need to do these tests. Some Super Series cards are coming out soon, so I'll be needing to purchase those as well. So anything you do to help me out would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that, I'm going to sign off and say, have a good day, stay safe, peace out.